Jetblue flight caught on video landing with a twisted front wheel.
Carrying 140 passengers and 6 crew members, the Airbus A320-232 departed Burbank at 3:17 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. The aircraft, which was built in 2002, bore the tail number M536JB and the name Canyon Blue. It was scheduled to fly 2,465 miles to John F. Kennedy International Airport. After takeoff from Burbank, the pilots quickly realized that they couldn't retract the landing gear. They then flew low over Long Beach Municipal Airport to allow officials in the airport's control tower to assess the damage to its landing gear before attempting a landing. It was found that the nose wheel was rotated 90 degrees to the left, perpendicular to the direction of the fuselage. Rather than land at Long Beach Airport, the pilot in command made the decision that the aircraft would land at Los Angeles International Airport, or LAX, in order to take advantage of its long, wide runways and modern safety equipment. The pilots flew the aircraft, which can carry up to 46,860 pounds of aviation fuel, in a figure-8 pattern between Bob Hope Airport in Burbank and LAX for more than 2 hours in order to burn fuel and lower the risk of fire upon landing. This also served to lighten the plane, reducing potential stress on the landing gear and dramatically lowering landing speed as well. The Airbus A320 does not have the mechanical ability to dump fuel, despite various news agencies reporting that the aircraft was doing so over the ocean. And fun fact, because JetBlue planes are equipped with DirecTV satellite television, passengers on the plane could actually watch the live news coverage of their flight while the plane circled over the Pacific for hours. The in-flight video system was turned off well before landing. Emergency services and fire engines were standing by on the LAX ramp ahead of the landing. Although foam trucks were available, they were not used. The US FAA no longer recommends pre-foaming runways, chiefly due to concerns that it would deplete firefighter foam supplies, which might later be needed to respond to a fire. It is also difficult to determine exactly where a runway should be foamed, and pre-foaming might also reduce the effectiveness of the aircraft's brakes, potentially causing it to slide off the runway. The plane landed on runway 25L. The nose gear generated sparks and flames when it touched down, but the plane was otherwise undamaged. To keep the nose gear off the ground as long as possible, reverse thrust was not used to slow the aircraft. As a result, the plane took much longer than usual to decelerate, coming to a stop at 6:20 p.m., just 1,000 feet before the end of the 11,096-foot runway. In comparison, the longest runway at Long Beach is 10,000 feet. Los Angeles Fire Department Battalion Chief Lou Rapoli said the pilot did an outstanding job. He kept the plane on its rear tires as long as he could before he brought the nose gear down. Passengers began to disembark less than 7 minutes later. The landing was smooth and no physical injuries were reported. The aircraft was evacuated via an airport stair vehicle, as opposed to evacuation slides typically used in an emergency situation. And for another quick fun fact, screenwriter Zach Dean was also on the plane, and while contemplating his mortality, resolved to write a script about mortality, which eventually became the film Dead Fall. Thanks for watching, and remember, if it's more interesting, you can find it here.
He's now slowing down as best he can.
End of the runway.
Mighty strong landing gear here. That's the tires burning out there.
All right.
Best of all possible scenarios, it did not collapse. The chin gear, or the chin of that aircraft did not skid down the runway. It has come to a complete stop. They will now have to evacuate the passengers off that aircraft, but they're doing it with the nose gear still in place, albeit with the tires burned away and gone, but you can see no indications of any fire on board this aircraft. It appears that this has all come to a very safe conclusion. We can guess now that the emergency equipment is heading in that direction. Bill Thomas in Air 7, what are you seeing?
Absolutely. Emergency crews are in position now. They are approaching the aircraft. You just saw them execute that soft field landing. Land as slow as you can without stalling the aircraft. They brought the nose down very